Oi mates! Welcome back to another episode of 80K Theory. Today, we're going to be looking into the Nightwings from Wings of Fire and seeing how their fantastical powers of mind reading and seeing the future might not be so fantastical after all. So, one of the Nightwings' most well-known powers is mind reading. And even though it sounds like complete sci-fi straight out of Men in Black, research is actually being done into the field, with great success at that. A company owned by Elon Musk, of course him, called Neuralink is researching mind reading. Neuralink has developed technology that they hope will be able to link the human mind with a computer, implanting a chip known as a BCI in the brain. This BCI can read a human's mind to perform certain commands, and Neuralink's goal is to help patients with paralysis or other disabilities so they might speak or walk or control their prosthetic limbs. Musk has even said that a monkey was able to use the computer with its mind when it had the BCI, able to play Pong. Well, right now we might not be able to read other people's minds, certainly not as well as the moon does, but hey, who knows, with how technology is advancing, we may yet be able to read minds just as well as any Nightwing. Now this is where the fun begins, because we found out something that might shock you. Nightwing future seeing is not actually future seeing at all. In fact, it has nothing to do with magic, and for this, we look to dreams. So, dreams and why they happen are debated among the scientific community. But for the purposes of this video, we are going to look at the dream type where the mind puts images together from its past experiences from that day or some other point in their lives and brings them together to make dreams. Every day in our lives we see all kinds of different things in the world. And at night, sometimes our unconscious mind takes these experiences and events, along with what your fears are, and combines them into odd collections of images, which we call dreams. These dreams can give us insight into our lives and help us solve our problems through cryptic ways. Now let's take a look at how Wings of Fire prophecies work. From what we can tell, their prophecies either start out with odd dreams or nightmares, then eventually lead them to spouting out a prophecy, seemingly out of nowhere. Notice something in there? Dreams. And if we remember what we talked about dreams earlier, we know they're a collection of events that happen in the mind to sort things out. So we think the prophecies from Wings of Fire are simply dragons picking up events they have seen or heard of, and putting them together into prophecies, similar to how we put events into dreams. Although, I think we need a bit more evidence than just the connection between dragons and dreams. Let's take a look at Clearsight, shall we? More specifically, her ability to see the future. Yes, I'm using air quotes. If we look at what her ability is, it's not just seeing the future. Her mind is able to see all the paths the future could take, with the most prominent futures being highlighted within her mind. This helps out our original claim because she's not actually looking at the future, rather she is able to look at all the possibilities of the future, which is suggesting that she is not seeing the future, but her subconscious mind is looking at the events that happened, and then her mind is able to see exactly how those events can affect how the world will work. Now all this talk is good and all, but does it hold up against a fulfilled prophecy? Can Moon's subconscious mind be inspired by past events to make the Jade Mountain prophecy, per se? Well, let's look at the lines of the prophecy and see if any of the events could be inspired by what Moon has seen before delivering the final prophecy. For those of you that need a refresher, the prophecy says, very ominously, "Beware the darkness of dragons, beware the stalker of dreams, beware the talons of power and fire, beware the one who is not what she seems. Something is coming to shake the earth, something is coming to scorch the ground. Jade Mountain will fall beneath thunder and ice, unless the lost city of night can be found." In order to see if the prophecy had any relation to the events Moon experienced before delivering the prophecy, we're going to have to dissect it line by line. The first line, "Beware the darkness of dragons," could be referring to dragons Moon's met that her mind counted as dangerous, such as Flame, who has darkness in his head. Or maybe Icicle, since we know that from Moon's experiences with her that she was fearful of her and she knew she was dangerous, especially after the attack in the library and the attempted assassination of the Dragonets. The second line, "Beware the stalker of dreams," could refer to Icicle or Scarlet. Since they both communicated using the Dream Visitor, Scarlet has a history of keeping tabs on people, aka she was literally a stalker. So I think the line fits. The next two lines, "Beware the talons of power and fire, beware the one who is not what she seems," could probably be a reference to Peril, who she met when Peril came to Jade Mountain Academy. The first line could reference her abilities of fire, and the second line could represent the doubt she had, since Moon was able to sense the doubt when she opened up her mind whenever Peril came into the entrance of Jade Mountain Academy when they first met. So I think it's plausible the last two lines could be referenced to Peril because of the doubt in her mind and her unique abilities of fire. The two lines in the next stanza, something is coming to shake the earth, something is coming to scorch the ground, are probably references to Darkstalker, since Moon knew he was large and that he may be dangerous and powerful from the book that she had read, and the conversations she had with him. So her mind created this imposing image in her head, and that's why the prophecy portrayed him so ominously. Jade Mountain will fall beneath thunder and ice. Could be a reference to the nightmares that Moon had been having. Well, why would Moon have these nightmares if it's not related to magic? Well, we know she had earlier anxiety about school and being accepted by others, so having nightmares about the academy she was about to go to was not unlikely and is pretty normal. And because she has this severe social anxiety, it makes sense that this important detail in her mind would have made into the prophecy that she created. The very last line in the prophecy, unless the lost city of night can be found, could be a reference to Moon wanting to be accepted into her tribe and hoping to find someone that will let her be trusted. So all these lines in this prophecy can be explained, or at the very least guessed at, meaning that the Nightwing's so-called prophecies could actually be more similar to dreams, except whenever the subconscious mind brings it up, it is not in your sleep, in a peaceful dream. It makes itself known by possessing the dragon and creepily and ominously spilling it out. Congratulations, Nightwings. This means that events that happened before the prophecy can explain why the prophecy might have sprouted up in the first place. So this means that the Nightwing prophecies are more akin to dreams than anything else, with events that the dragon had experienced and desires the dragon has leading to a hyperactive subconscious mind to spout out prophecies. Now some of you may be wondering, wait, hyperactive subconscious? How can you explain that? Well, we already showed Clearsight's intelligence was superb, with her mind experiences every single possibility in the future, which gave us a hint, first place, that prophecies might not be magic. Now there's something else that gives us insight into just how insane dragon minds are, and it starts with babies. Dragon babies. In the books we see that the dragons have incredible cognitive development. How incredible? Well, let's take a look at how humans develop side by side with how dragons develop in Wings of Fire. Humans learn to walk in around a year or two, while the dragons seem to be able to walk within a few days, which you know from The Lost Era, with Oglet jumping around in the sand a day after she was born. Admittedly, this may not be all that impressive, since animals like giraffes are able to start walking an hour after they're born. Alright, but what about talking? Talking, in a traditional sense, can only be accomplished by humans, along with a few other organisms who humans teach to learn its sign language or sometimes speech. Generally, humans learn to talk and babble after their first year or two on this earth. As for dragons, well, Moon is able to talk within hours of her hatching, babbling and able to say the word mommy. That doesn't mean Nightwings have an advanced mental process. I don't know what does. And I mean it literally this time. So we believe that Nightwing prophecies are closer to dreams than actual magic. We say this because dragons who have this ability see the possibilities of the future, with the prominent features being highlighted within the dragon's mind. And in some dragons, they just let their subconscious dish out the most probable future. We also say this because prophecies can be explained by events that happened before the prophecy was unveiled, and because dragons have impressive mental adaptability compared to humans. So there you go, the Nightwings of Wings of Fire don't have as mystical powers as they claim to, with their future seeing being nothing more than an advanced cognitive process and able to notice the world around them. The dragon has, leading to an hyperactive subconscious. Hang on, let's try that again. This is a surprisingly hard line. With a vonx. A vonx? What did I say? A vonx? What? Okay.